That is Diwali every day for you. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Ford Mustang. This is the 6th generation of the Ford Mustang, and I know it's discontinued in India, but that doesn't stop me from reviewing this because this one is a modified version of the Mustang, producing a lot more power. This car belongs to Ishan. This is the key of the vehicle. There you can see the pony on the key, and the key is not very special, but it's got a wrap which is there on the car. The wrap looks very nice indeed. Straight away, let's open the engine bay, which means that there's a lever which I need to... there we go. Oh my god, this is so heavy. There is the 5-liter naturally aspirated engine. There's insulation there. This is so heavy. There are no hydraulic struts either. Let's shut this, and that makes quite the sound. The Mustang is obviously a sexy looking car. You can see the pony here. No, Ford logos are not there on this car. That is the fog light. And if you see or notice that it gets this ring which is in different color, which can actually be changed with an app. So this is aftermarket, of course. Nice DRS, I would say. Coming to the other side, the indicator placement is a bit on the lower side. Ground clearance is obviously low. Get this lip there as well. And the real highlight of this crowd favorite car happens to be the side design, because obviously it's a coupe. It looks really very sexy. What an amazing looking car. More than 4.7 meters in terms of length. The front tire size happens to be 255/40/19s. These are stock wheels, of course. Says Brembo on the inside. Rear tires are obviously bigger or wider because this is a rear wheel drive vehicle. So 275/40/19s. This is running on Pirelli P0 tires. Very grippy indeed. And it gets stage 2 tuning. Yes, it's a naturally aspirated engine, so power output has not gone through the roof. Even with tuning, of course. You can hear the exhaust because DCAT, of course. Listen to it. Yeah. This is a Borla exhaust. Some changes to the lights, I believe. Says GT right there. This is the Mustang GT, of course. Rear parking camera. This is actually the Shelby GT350 spoiler, which does move a bit. You do get rear parking sensors or you don't. Who knows and who cares? But rear fog light placement is right there. Oh my god, the exhaust is wow. Let's open the boot, which means press a button here. There it opens. The boot is 320 liters, I think. But it is useless because the spare wheel is placed right on top. That's not the case with the stock car though. This spare wheel is only for the front tires. This needs to be painted in black, of course. You can see there's insulation here, which is kind of nice. There moves the spoiler when I shut it with a little bit of enthusiasm. Let's get inside. For starters, this car is actually able to seat 4 people, which means that I have to recline the seat from here. This seat is useless for human beings. Legroom is poor. Headrests are not there, so rear passengers do not get a head. You see the amount of legroom. What a shame, but magazine holders, only magazines can sit here, honestly. Seats are actually nice and comfortable. 7 airbags. You can adjust the seat from here, but for height, or rather to move this, you have to use this manual lever, of course. Says Mustang here. Speaker seems nice, but who wants to hear that? Door pockets are small, but I think there's an umbrella holder or something of that sort. There's this tile treatment which will actually remind you of Tata cars, and those are the controls for the adjustment of the headlights. That is open to the boot. You get a proper dead pedal. Pedals look nice. However, interior is finished in black. And although this car has done 9,000 kilometers, the owner has not yet removed plastic sheets, which is nice and amazing. In fact, tag is also placed here, which hasn't been removed. Indicator placement on the right side. I mean, the position of the levers have been done rightly for the Indian market. Small screen, not much here to browse through, although it gets apps and all that stuff as well. So not something which is interesting, but I will get into reverse to show you the reverse parking camera quality, adaptive guidelines as well. But you get the tile treatment here, but it's carbon fiber finishing here and there. Glove box is decent size. You can lock it, of course. Says Mustang since 1964. Meanwhile, you get this nice silver finishing here. 3 AC vents in the center. These are controls for the audio system. These are controls for the air conditioning. Heating and cooling function for the front seats. Toggle switches like an aircraft. This is for the drive mode. This is for the steering mode. Traction control, which makes you a crowd favorite. This is for the hazard light. Engine start button. Shaker audio system. USB charging socket, cigarette lighter. Gear lever feels really nice to hold as well. Twin cup holder, some storage space here too. And the steering wheel is adjustable, of course, both for reach as well as rake. Cruise control buttons here. Lot of buttons on the steering wheel. Ford is obsessed with putting as many buttons as possible on the steering wheel. You got a multi-information display there in the center. Can you see that? Yeah. So you can browse through it quite easily because it's got track apps as well. You can time yourself in terms of acceleration timing and all that as well. So here I select this and automatic start. Okay to begin. Accelerate to start. And oh my god, the sound. So it has that cool bit as well. So it's like a car along with a computer. Speedometer says revolutions per minute.
Beg your pardon?
Sorry, the tachometer says that. The speedometer says ground speed. That's so freaking aircraft style, and you get a miles per hour meter inside. The horn is nice, but nobody really cares. This is auto dimming, light placement here on the top. So as I see it, it's actually a comfortable car for people sitting at the front, not so much at the rear. Let's do one thing, let's start driving right away. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning on the car. There, it actually properly rose to life. We get into drive mode. Firstly, I'll change the drive mode. So we are going to get it into, oh yes, racetrack, why not? The other thing is, I'm also going to change the steering mode to sport. Yeah, it has normal, sport and comfort. Meanwhile, in terms of drive modes, it has got normal, sport plus, racetrack and snow and wet. That's that. We get into sport for the gearbox as well. Handbrake side is so towards the left side now, so this is actually made for left-hand drive markets. When it came for right-hand drive markets, it was a revolution. Here, I've actually turned off the hazard lights. No, I'm not turned off the hazard lights. I turned off the air conditioning. What am I smoking? And here, hazard lights off. And it's time to launch. Okay, here into track apps, acceleration timer 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, automatic start. Press OK to begin. Revving the motor and off we go. It says 5.9 seconds because I didn't launch it properly, but my goodness, the exhaust is really very aggressive. I have paddle shifters with which I can make shift, but oh, 7,000 RPM red line. It gives me complete manual control of things. The exhaust is so freaking loud and aggressive, it's insane. Did you hear that? Yeah, when you lift off now, it has this overrun with cracks and pops. This overrun is absolutely bonkers the way this overrun happens on lift off. So it has got stage 2 tuning, of course, which means that producing 470 horsepower. So the stock car produces 400 horsepower, 401 PS and 550 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour for the stock is 5.4 seconds. This will obviously go under 5 seconds. In fact, the exhaust is so loud, it even throws out flames. Yeah, flames are thrown out. Now it's got a sway bar at the rear to ensure that it puts all the power down. It somehow manages to do that very well. Yeah, very nicely able to put all that power down, making a quick overtake, no problem at all. Oh my god, I can feel the rear wheel slip a bit because that is the kind of I had no words to say. I was speechless. The way this whole exhaust went pop, 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 pop. The cracks, the pops, everything is insane. Why is this a crowd favorite? Because you know what? When it loses traction, when people try to do slides and all that stuff, it ends up in the crowd, of course. So insane. The steering is actually quite heavy. Yeah, the steering is very heavy in this car. I don't know why it's so heavy. Even at low speeds, the steering is super duper heavy. So you're going to make a quick turn around here. And yeah, I find the steering to be very heavy. But it's okay, it's manageable, something you get used to, of course. And yeah, it is using a 6-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox, which is decently quick, which shifts not extremely fast. But what is the highlight is this is a very usable car. Speed breakers, you do not at all need to crawl through. It goes aram over speed breakers. Ride quality is fantastic. Handling is good. It's not very dynamic for a track, but handling is also decent. This is a Mustang which actually does handle, which is amazing, right? Bad bumps, no problem. This car handles everything in its stride, and I can tell you this because I've driven this car all the way from Goa to Bangalore without having any worry. Obviously, I had a support car which was an Innova, which was carrying spare tires just in case, but this car obviously has a spare in the boot. This is 5 liters of naturally aspirated madness with a red line of 7,000 RPM, and that's the reason when you pull it, like, in a higher gear, you can feel the way it's so magical. This engine, it becomes silent and then it pops and cracks like mad. In fact, I am just going to leave the paddle shifters to themselves to do the job. They're downshift. honestly, the way the cracks and pops come is a real highlight for me. That's the reason we're actually going to put the window down a bit so that you can hear them even more aggressively, because the exhaust outside is too loud. Absolute madness. What a hoot. This car is unbelievably loud. That is Diwali every day for you. Insane, man. What performance. Unbelievable. Ford makes this car, which was only limited to left-hand drive markets till the 6th generation came along. And when they got the right-hand drive model, obviously the demand was through the roof. Nobody imagined that the Mustang would sell so much. It is doing bonkers in terms of sales. Because the performance, it will really blow your mind. It's unbelievable. It's so freaking loud. This car obviously has a baller exhaust, free flow. The catalytic converter has been removed, and the result is that it is loud like mad. Like, people turn around to see that is everything fine. What is this madness? Why is the exhaust so freaking loud? So we are just going to make a quick turn here, and I'm very happy with the fact that this car is so freaking usable. It's like unbelievably usable. Let's use the horn. The horn is not as effective as the exhaust, trust me on this. And turning radius is a little bit on the higher side, but in all honesty, I am like really, like, I love the Mustang. This is a car under ₹1 crore which can blow your mind. Thankfully, there is no replacement for displacement, and thankfully they actually offered us, okay, we are going to get into drive mode to be a little silent. So thankfully they actually offered us the full-blown engine. Otherwise, usually what they end up doing is that they give us the smaller capacity engine as well, which is not as punchy or fun. The EcoBoost, of course, the 4-cylinder, which also gets some volumes as such. So here, little bad road, no problem. We are just going to go a little bit like this because I've been told to take a U-turn. The Thar is a support car, so we are told, I'll just do one thing. I'll just wait here for a second.
2 very boring minutes later.
Oh, we will take a U-turn. Why not? Because we can. Imagine if I turn off traction control, U-turns will be so much faster as well. And there we are. I have caused more noise pollution today than I have done in my entire life, because that is the sound of the exhaust. And insane. It's freaking insane. So the cops are not very pleased with the sound of the exhaust, so let's actually do not rev it that much because it becomes very loud somehow. Now if you want to use it normally, you can do that as well. Let me just get into the drive mode. In sport mode now it becomes so bonkers and loud. Now it's insane. So here we are into drive mode. Oh my god, did you notice it? The rear was sliding a bit. So yes, the Mustang is like a canvas. You can go bonkers in terms of whatever mods you want and then become really crazy. The brakes are also quite strong, but the car, this car is so aggressive in terms of the performance. It could do with bigger brakes for sure. There is no flat spot in the power delivery. The more you rev it, the more it rewards you. How a traditional engine should be. Okay, just rev it and it will just get better and better and better. And speed breaker, no problem. Never a problem in this car. Come on. I can hear the exhaust all day long, but if you're outside now, your ears will blow off completely. That is the level of performance from this car. Fuel efficiency, do you really care? But I'll still tell you, 2 to 4 kilometers per litre when you drive aggressively, 5 to 8 kilometers per litre when you drive it sanely. And obviously if you're driving it sanely, you might as well get a Ford Figo, not a Ford Mustang. Although Ford has left completely. I've been told that there are no issues with the parts because obviously most people modify their Mustangs, so they tend to just import the parts if they so wish. And when I was driving this car, there were cops around. I went around them, turned and all, nobody said anything. And then when I accelerated, I think they were on the phone saying that, someone is causing a lot of noise pollution. NGT is on the way right now. Just kidding, none of that happened. But yeah, even they enjoy the exhaust note, because I believe that when the car roams around here, everyone gets their phone out just to listen to the amazing exhaust of this car.
Do that again.
And here, downshift, yeah, listen to this. So it's not a very fast driving engine, but definitely it's a very rewarding one. It scares everybody silly. Steering has decent amount of feel. It does weigh up nicely. Body roll is also well contained. Car is not very stiff somehow. They've got the ride and handling balance spot on. That's something which Ford obviously manages to do all the time, and that's something you would really appreciate as well. So guys, this is my vlog of the Ford Mustang. It's an unbelievably awesome car, a car I really miss. I feel so sad that Ford has actually left India because they make cars which have a soul. See, Endeavours are plenty around me, and then when you rev this engine, you realize what a car, what an engine, what a sound, what amazingness it has. And that is the reason why I would definitely think of getting one if Ford comes back to India, that is. Now this is the 6th generation model. There's a 7th generation model as well, which was unveiled recently, and thankfully the 5-liter engine obviously lives on. The V8, it's not been discontinued, yes, because Dodge on the other hand is going electric. By the way, I just read Dodge removed one version of their Challenger, and that one goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 1.6 seconds, 1000 horsepower, 1000 newton meters of torque, all that madness it has. If you like this vlog, make sure, oh my god, give the thumbs up. That's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Oh, I love it. Bye.